This is awful. Stop killing your speed and ruining your groove. I'm going to show you a really cool lick that's going to boost your speed and make you sound like it's going to be really cool. It's not going to be awesome. No matter how you slice it, triplets are problematic, and that's because of pick direction. So I'm going to show you what to do with your pick direction, what to do with your articulations in your left hand, so that you can get through triplets and stop killing your speed. I'm also going to give you the only rule about pick direction you're likely to ever need to know, and then we'll go over how to break it. And if you watch to the end of the video, I'm going to show you a really cool lick that will boost your speed like crazy. It'll help you learn to play faster, and it'll make you sound really fancy because it's a triplet lick. It's going to be pretty cool, so make sure to watch to the end. Now let's get started. First, pick direction. I'll make this quick because I know a lot of you know this already, but there is a common piece of advice that is problematic when it comes to pick direction. And that is, pause and throw it in the comments if you know. I know a bunch of you know. Put it in the comments. Let's see who's first. So that problematic advice starts out really good, but then later as you advance starts to not be valid. And that advice is downstroke on quarter notes or anything longer. Downstrokes on quarter notes, half notes, whole notes. And then alternating down-up strokes on eighth notes or anything shorter. Your eighth notes, your 16th notes, your 32nd notes. And that works great as long as you're learning tunes that have pretty standard sort of timing to them and groove to them. Rhythm's the word I'm actually looking for here. That advice holds up when you play something like this, but it breaks down when you start to play syncopated things, like the beginning of Ashland Breakdown, for instance. That is a eighth, a quarter, an eighth, and then another quarter, depending on how you count that last note. That means that we can't do downstroke on quarter notes and upstroke on eighth notes because you're going to end up picking backwards for some of it. So here's the rule you really need to know, and then we're going to get into articulating your triplets. The rule is downstroke on the downbeat. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And upstroke on the upbeat. That's and. So 1, and, 2, and, 3, and, 4, and. Just like that. However, we're getting into triplets now, and triplets ruin everything. So let's jump in. The problem with triplets is we are taking a quarter note space, and that quarter note is the same space as 2 eighth notes. And both of these work well for general pick direction rules. You can play the quarter note, and then you recover your pick, which takes the same amount of time as 2 eighth notes. If I play a quarter note, bring my pick back up, play another quarter note, bring my pick back up. That's obviously not the right rhythm there. I'll demonstrate it for you in a second. But that keeps an even movement in the hand. If you play down, up, playing eighth notes, that also keeps an even movement. So check this out. I'm going to play 4 quarter notes, and then I'm going to play 8 eighth notes. Here we go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now eighth notes. 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to do that again. What I want you to do here is turn off your volume and watch my hand. And note that my hand looks exactly the same, whether I'm playing the quarter notes or the eighth notes. Then you can go and rewind. Just hit the side of your screen on the left side, tap that twice. You'll rewind the perfect amount, and you can listen to it and hear that difference. This is perfect pick direction. So here we go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. All right, volume back on. Go back and watch that part, or not if you don't want to. Now we're going to jump into where pick direction gets to be a problem. We can't use that perfect pick direction because, as I mentioned, we add a quarter note. Within that quarter note, you can fit 2 eighth notes. Within a quarter note, you can also fit a triplet. So 2 eighth notes divides the quarter note by 2. A triplet divides the quarter note by 3. We're fitting 3 notes in the space of 1 quarter note. Well, that ruins our down, up pick direction now. So we now have an uneven amount, and we're going to have to recover that pick and turn it around in certain situations, or else we'll end up picking backwards, and that completely kills your groove. Pick direction really matters. So we're going to use a triplet and then a quarter note so I can demonstrate to you what we can do about this problem, because you're going to run into it quite a lot as you advance as a mandolin player, and as you speed up more and more, this is going to be a thing. So the triplet and the quarter note we're going to use is open A, 2 on the A, 4 on the A, and 5 on the A. The first three notes are the triplet, and then the last one is the quarter note. And I'm going to give you a really cool and useful way to count triplets. And no, it's not triplet, triplet, triplet. That is kind of problematic. So I'll show you what to do instead. The problem with triplet, triplet when you count your triplets is that triplet is not how the word goes. You have to modify that word to say triplet, 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 triplet. It's just not a good way to go. So instead, this is going to be fun. You say bucket of fish. That bucketa, that's the triplet. Bucketa. And then the quarter note is fish. Bucket of fish, 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 bucket of fish. Or if you prefer, you can say bottle of pop or bottle of pap, 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 bottle of pap. That's it, bottle of pop or bucket of fish. It fits really, really well. So when you count your triplets and quarter notes, do that. Now let's work our way through these. The example I chose is one that's in my song Quick Select, which is on my Wings of a Jetliner album. And it has a phrase that goes like this. And this is a really typical situation you're going to run into with triplets. When you do any type of pick direction or work figuring out what your articulations and fingering is going to be, follow the John McGann rule. John was an amazing player and a legendary educator. The John McGann rule is try all of the options so that you know you're not leaving something out that's really good, and you can be confident that you're using the best thing for the situation. So we're going to go through all the options. The first option is we can just pick down, up, down, up. Now this does have a problem. We are playing down on the downbeat like we want to be, but then we've got an up and a down. We're not too worried about this, but then we hit the quarter note here. This is a downbeat. We've just played an upstroke on a downbeat. Well, that has a concession, which is we'd like to be playing a downstroke, but we just played an upstroke. Every one of these versions is going to come with some kind of concession, some not too bad and some really bad. So what do we have as another option? Well, we could try up, down, up. I can't even say it. Up, down, up, down. This has a little problem to it, though. We do have the downbeat, downstroke right there on the last note, which is nice. But the first note sounds weak, and we really don't want that first note to sound weak. It's also harder to start from an upstroke on a quick burst of notes, because you're going against gravity. And in general, upstrokes have a lot of problems compared to downstrokes. We'll save that for some other video. Let me know in the comments if you want to know more about that. I also have a speed playlist. I'll put that down below as well, so you can check that out. So between these two options, the first one is actually going to be better. As long as on that last stroke, you just lean into that upstroke a little bit. Give it lots of follow through, make it louder. By follow through, I mean don't play the string and then stop immediately above it and do nothing. Like that, that is a really weak note. So you want that follow through, like that. So that one is the one I chose for this song. The reason I like it is it's got a strong beginning, and we can make up for that little problem with a little stronger upstroke on the last note. Its opposite, starting up, has a weak start. And there's basically nothing you can do about it unless you have crazy, crazy good technique, and ain't nobody got time for that. So we've gone over two of the options. Now another option is a really great one at a slow speed. It's actually the only perfect triplet in my opinion. If the song is slow, you can play down, up, down. And then if there's more triplets, you would keep doing that. This is an Irish style, where you have that kind of thing. So we could play down, up, down, and then another down. If the song is slow enough, this is a really perfect situation. It's got the emphasis on all the right syllables. But the speed limit is incredibly slow. So for most fiddle tunes and bluegrass tunes, we can rule that out. It's not going to work. I mean, that's terrible. The groove is awful. It makes me feel icky. Fingernails on a chalkboard right there. It's just not so great. So what are our other options? We've got one that's pretty good. We've got one that's not so great, and then one that at speed is terrible. Well, we can change what the pick is doing by changing the left hand articulations. If you use a hammer-on or a pull-off, you can eliminate one of the pick strokes. So let's do that. Let's try first a hammer-on from open A to 2 on the A. Now we can go down on that. Now up, down. Now, I don't like this one so much. The 2nd fret is not my strongest hammer-on, and really isn't for anybody because it's so close to the nut. But this could fix the problem, and maybe you like it. Maybe it works for you. Well, what about if we do a hammer-on instead from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret? So we play down, up, and then down. Well, that one's pretty good. With a little bit of timing practice, you might be able to make that sound better than this. And you can too, so that's not a bad option. Now be careful not to do 2 hammer-ons. Well, sometimes it'll work, but usually you're going to lose all your resonance and your notes aren't going to be very audible. Sometimes it works. Down here, not so bad. 2, 4, 6. Like that. But a lot of places it's not going to work so well. So for this particular song, we're going to rule out those hammer-ons too. They're just not perfect. Now there's no potential for pull-offs because all of the notes are going up. So in this lick, we aren't using pull-offs, but pull-offs would apply the same way. On your way down, you just do a pull-off, and that removes one of the pick strokes you've got to make. You can keep your pick moving. So those are the possibilities for this. If I left one out, please put it down in the comments. I want to make sure everybody truly has all the possibilities. Now let's get into this fast lick. And real quick, like 75% of you watching these videos are not subscribed to the channel. It would help me out a bunch if you would subscribe and hit that like button. All right, let's play. This is the fast, fancy triplet lick. It's really neat, and it has a buddy that I'll show you later. A different version of it I'll show you in another video, so another reason to subscribe. So here's the lick, how to play it. It follows the scale that Darrell Anger calls the amazing fiddle scale. It's going to be open A, 2 on the A, 4 on the A, open E, 2 on the E, 4 on the E, and 5 on the E. Like that. This is an ideal lick for speed. It has to do with the pick direction and the finger patterns. Fingers love to land in order. They don't like to do little switch outs. These like... Fingers hate that. But in order, they really like that. So this lick does that. It starts out in the order of the scale. And it follows my skip-a-note scale method rule. This is a really important thing to deeply ingrain into your head, the skip-a-note scale method. You can take any scale and remove one note, and it sounds like a lick instead of a scale. So this is one of those situations. We play a lick, or we get rid of one note, and it sounds like a scale. A scale? No, it sounds like a lick. So here's what you need to know to pull this off quick. We are going into a couple of technique things that are covered in my other videos, and this video is already probably going very long. Thank you to both of you who are still watching it. I really appreciate it. And if you watched to the end, by the way, go put that in the comments. I want to know who you are because you're awesome. So here's the technique things you need to know. I'm going to go over them quickly. I don't have my comically large mandolin pick nearby. So what we're going to have, I'll try to show you a little more closely. We're going to play with a pronated angle like that. This is pronated. This is supinated, like you're holding a bowl of soup. We're going to play with a slightly pronated angle like that. And what that's going to allow you to do as well is a really good string crossing. We're going to play down, up, down. Now I recommend rotation in your picking motion. You can do this other ways. You can use the little bell hammer if you want, or you can use your elbow. But I recommend rotation. And as you make that rotation, or whatever way you're moving your pick, at the same time, open up this elbow angle to drop your pick and prepare it to play the E string. This pronated angle will help you with that, keep your pick from getting caught. And if you use rotation, pronate a little farther, your pick is just going to barely miss the E string, and you never have to do the sewing machine hop to get from string to string. That allows you to get a faster string crossing. Now that's obviously going to take you a little practice. Remember, pick depth is really important. Check out my speed playlist for more on that, and my free course, Master Tremolo 2.0. You can get the coupon code from my latest episode of Mandolins and Beer in early 2025 and get that class for free. So that's it. A really cool lick. Make sure to watch the next video because I'm going to show you one that goes with it, and I'm going to show you more about how to use this lick. So happy picking. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the other videos. Hit that like button, would greatly appreciate it. If you love this video and want to support the channel, my Venmo is down below, or you can even just send a nice note, say hi. It's easy to find me online. All right, bye.